friends, today we will have a small briefing discussion on various products in personal segment advances in banks. See the importance of the personal segment advances. I already explained in my previous video about all these personal segment advances, and please have a link with this video. And one more thing I want to tell you, the personal segment advances are increasing day by day. Why? Because change. Second one is the income is increased. Third one is their needs have changed. So once upon a time, all luxurious items like cars, etc., now they have become essential. And one more thing, here when a personal segment advances, if you target a customer, you will get various bundle of opportunities from them. Suppose let us have a small example here. One is, if a banker finance housing loan to a customer, and immediately he will get an opportunity to finance car loan to him. And some having grown up children, he requires educational loan. And one more thing, for furnishing and furniture, all these things he may require loans, different loans. He may take personal loan also, and sometimes if he is having surplus amount, he can deposit with the bank. So once if a customer is satisfied, definitely we will get number of services from him, and there is an opportunity to improve the bank business. Retail banking, there are a lot of advantages. One is risk spreading. Second one is the advances are stable, because once if you give an housing loan, this is very stable advance, and NPAs are very less, and stability of income of the bank also will increase. One more thing, possibility of the cross selling, that cross selling business, other insurance products, mutual fund products, all these things also we can offer to the customers. Advantage in retail banking is it is very simple appraisal and assessment, and there are no prone to much threat of government policies and industrial policies, because pollution control and all these things we need not verify. Why rural areas also offering tremendous potential for developing a retail segment business, because there are also construction activities going for houses, and they are also taking loans for car and other vehicles. So there is a lot of growth of future retail banking, particularly in respect of these two segments. Out of retail advances, housing will continue to be the biggest growth segment, followed by auto loans, that is car loans and other vehicle loans. Customers also getting some benefits when they take housing loans. The government is giving income tax concession to them in respect of the installment as well as interest. So all these benefits we can explain to the customers and encourage retail banking. So before going to the personal segment different products, let us say some of the terminology. What is net monthly income, net annual income, then equated monthly installments, third party guarantee, margin, check-off facility, post-dated checks, standing instructions, moratorium, gestation period, all these things we should know. Let us see what are the assessment factors in respect of the personal loan. One is domicile, whether he belongs to this area or not, and where he resides, and whether he belongs to any organization, and in that whether he is permanent employee or temporary employee. Then age also decides eligibility, amount of credit, and repayment program also it will decide. Then credentials, income as well as worthiness also we have to assess to fix the net monthly income, net annual income. All these things we have to see here. Then liquidity, equated monthly installment, fixing of installments in relation to net monthly income. All these things we have to assess properly. So whenever we are giving personal loans, KYC, know your customer. That is identity proof, address proof. Address means resident, office, and legal name and or any other names. Then income proof as well as occupation. Then telephone, whether he is having the telephone number is most important. The cell number and office number and house number also we have to take it. And in respect of the income proof, we have to see the salary certificate, IT returns, and competence of drawing and disbursing authority also we have to verify. Think that personal segment what is there, but here some guidelines also we have to follow. One is obtain photographs of the borrower as well as guarantor. Then obtain legal heirs declaration from the borrower and guarantor. Then verify the authenticity of the salary and income proof. Then prepare opinion reports before sanctioning of the loan. We have to give a opinion report on the borrower. Entire opinion report we have to fill it up. Then obtain document verification report, that is legal clearance and valuation report by the approved valuer before release of the loan. Then visit the place of residence and place of office to ensure that correctness of the address furnished. Then make phone calls to the resident and also to the office, ensure correctness of the phone numbers furnished. And then obtain details of other accounts with other banks also you can have. All these things we have to take in our opinion report. Authority by employer for making payment of loan from out of the terminal benefits in case of retirement, resignation, or discontinuance of service or death. Then third one is undertaking by the employer to obtain no objection certificate from bank before settling the dues to the borrower on transfer, resignation or retirement. All these things we have to follow in check-off facility. We have to take the post-dated checks also. Around 50 leaves should be filled with special crossing seal. That is most important. And here branch put the checks in clearing on 4th or 5th of the month to fix the dates. And dishonor of, this is most important, dishonor of post-dated checks, step to be initiated. What are the steps? First, you have to give notice within 15 days of the return of check. Then, if he fails to make payment of said money within 15 days, then file a complaint with the magistrate within 1 month, that is maximum. So this is very important precaution the banker has to take. KYC is sufficient, but the banker should know KYS, that is know your security. Here he has to verify identity and address proof of movable assets, immovable assets, photograph and route map of the asset. That means if a housing loan is financed, he should have a route map and personal visits and private inquiries also. All these things we have to do in respect of the know your security. While accepting the security, the banker has to see, one is marketability of the security. So if he is able to sell it or not. And second one is ascertainable of value of the security, that is determining the value of the security. Then stability of the value of the security. It should not come down. The security value should not come down. And transferability and transportability of the security. All these things we have to see while accepting the security. We will discuss some of the legal formalities also. Here, while accepting the security, we have to verify whether it is a government land or a assigned land. And the encumbrance certificate we have to obtain for 30 years. That is most important. 12 years okay, but 13 years it is best. And please note it, here a registration of charges with concerned officials of the government in respect of the agricultural lands. And notarized affidavit from the mortgager also the banker has to obtain. Thereafter, valuation report, that is most important. a approved valuer or to visit the property. Preferably, he may be a civil engineer in respect of the housing loan, and in respect of the machinery, preferably he will be a mechanical engineer. And here, valuation report is to be updated once in 3 years to know the value of the security. And here, how we have to assess the valuation of the valuer report: revenue and registration records, market inquiries, and marketability of the property, and distress sale of the property. All these things we have to inquire, and branch manager should give a certificate in this regard. Let us discuss some of the products in personal segment advances in banks. Let us one by one we will discuss. Let us see the first product, one important product, that is housing loan. Let us see purpose of housing loan. One is to purchase a plot of land for purpose of constructing the house. Then purchase and construct a new house or flat in already he is a owner of any plot or land. Then purchase of existing flat or to extend existing house also. That means extension, second floor, third floor, like that he can extend. And repair and renovation of the existing house. And sometimes we can finance also furnishing consumer durables a part of the project cost. Please note it. It should be a part of the project cost. Then take over from other banks and financial institutions also we can do it. The banker can do it. So this is for the purpose. We will see eligibility. Who are eligible? Individuals over 18 years of age with steady source of income, including persons engaged in agriculture and allied activities. Here, steady source of income is most important. And a satisfactory credit report is mandatory. Okay, and maximum age limit is 70 years. So, this is in respect of the age of the borrower who are eligible for housing loan. Here, while fixing the margin, we have to see the loan to value ratio, that is usually called as LTV. What is LTV? LTV is nothing but mortgaged amount, that is how much loan we are giving divided by appraised value of the property. That means we can give up to 80% of the valuer report. That means if a valuer report has given 1 lakh as the house property, then we can extend up to 80,000. Taking the LTV ratio, loan to value ratio, here we should not include registration charges, stamp duty, property insurance, service tax, and other statutory dues and cost of furnishing, etc. All these things to be excluded while calculating the loan to value ratio. The loan tenure should be up to 30 years. We can go subject to liquidation of the home loan before the borrower reaches the age of 70. That we have to ensure. So we have to fix the installment like that. Then here purchase of plot land also we can give for construction of house, but we should see within 6 months the borrower has to start the construction work. Number of borrowers will be maximum 3, including spouse, children, parents and siblings. However, it is a discretion of the bank to. Let us see the eligible income. One is income of the spouse, children, parents, sibling also to be taken if they are co-borrowers here. Then regular income from any other source also can be taken. Then expected rental income, that is most important. Expected rental income of the proposed house also can be taken for eligible income to fix the installments. Here let us see EMI NMI ratio, that is equated monthly installments divided by net monthly income. EMI means equated monthly installments, NMI means net monthly income. How much equated monthly installment we can fix? Here, please note it. Net annual income also we have to take. Net annual income is NAI, what is we will call as per the income tax return. But net monthly income, please note it once again. The net monthly income is net of all statutory deductions of the salary. That only we have to take as a net monthly income. And suppose if a customer is having 10 lakhs per annum, if a customer is having 10 lakhs per annum, you can fix up to 65% of the income for loan installments. And whereas if a customer is having only 1,20,000 per annum, then you fix 25% as the installment. That is most important, because we have to give some consumption purpose. If he is a lower income, we have to give more consumption. And here, if the person is earning 10 lakhs per annum, he can able to afford up to 65% of his income towards loan repayment. That way we have to decide here. Margins also we have to see here. Margins also 15 to 20% we can fix the margin. And because in housing project, if a customer asks for furnishing, we can give up to 10% of the maximum project cost, or some ceiling you can put 10 lakhs or 15 lakhs like that. It depends upon the bank to bank. But please note it, the furnishing amount also to be recovered along with the principal house construction installment. Security. Normally we will take equitable mortgage by deposit of title deeds of the customer. Then if title deeds deposit is not possible, banker can accept a registered mortgage. And one more thing, if registered mortgage or equitable mortgage is not possible, then banker can accept other liquid securities, that is gold and government promissory notes, shares, debentures and LIC policies, etc. also can be accepted. It depends upon the bank to bank, and it is the discretion of the bank while accepting other than the equitable mortgage of the title deeds. The accepting of other securities is left to the bank to bank. Part. One is pre-sanction inspection. Second one is post-sanction inspection. Pre-sanction means before sanctioning the loan, the banker has to inspect the site as well as the borrower's residence, etc. And post-sanction means after sanctioning the loan and while dispersing the loan, the banker has to visit at every installment what he releases, and whatever he has done, he has to record in the inspection register. And one more thing, once the loan disbursement is completed and if the loan repayment already started, then if it is a standard asset and the banker have a discretion to visit at yearly or even 3 years, at a 3 years interval also he can do the inspection. And if it is a non-performing asset, that means if the loan repayment is not coming, the banker has to inspect quarterly or half yearly and see that there should not be any downgrading of the asset. Let us see the insurance part in respect of the housing loan. The housing loan, that is houses, should be insured against risk of fire, riots or earthquakes, lightning, floods, etc. in the joint names of the borrower and bank for the value of the construction alone. Please note it. The price of land should not be taken here in respect of the sum insured, and after that a copy of the policy to be retained with the bank, duly entered in the standard insurance register for each loan account. Bankers will take other bank loans, that is takeover from other financial institutions. In this case, the banker has to take due precautions. What are those precautions is, while taking that one, you should ensure that the borrower has paid interest and installment regularly to that financial institution. Second one, borrower should have a valid documents with him, that you should ensure. And also, in case of tie-up arrangements with any builders, please note it, there should not be any undue delay in construction. Some of the principles remaining other as per the guidelines, we have to take necessary precautions while taking over the loans from other institutions. Sometimes borrowers want to purchase old house also. In that case also we can finance. But before financing that old house, it should be properly appraised by the approved valuer, and he has to arrive the valuation of the property. Then on that basis loan can be fixed. And if it is more than 15 years old property, let us have some caution and take necessary permissions before financing that old house. This is a beautiful product devised in housing loan segment. That is, instead of term loan, here a overdraft will be created against the equitable mortgage of house property. That means under housing loan, overdraft is created. That means the borrower can pay the amount and take the amount. But here what we have to take is that limit should be reduced month wise, so that at the end of the period the limit will become zero. Here the borrower will have a good advantages. If he is having money, he can deposit it so that he can reduce the interest burden. So whenever he want to money, he can withdraw the money. So this is a very beautiful scheme that can be given against the housing loan as a overdraft. The remaining other guidelines are as per the housing loan. Beyond that overdraft limit, there should not be any permissions. That is most important here. The housing loan customers may be given other loans also against the security of the existing housing property if security margin is available in that case. Here, what are the other type of finance we can give? That is, one is for their children education purpose. Second one is for purchase of furniture, purchase of other things, and vehicle also they can purchase against the security of the house. So here please note it that security should be available in respect of the house property before financing all these things. Let us see the small case study here. A borrower applied housing loan 75 lakhs, let us say. Then as per the agreement of sale, the cost is around 80 lakhs. But we have done valuation, and as per the valuer report, this is 90 lakhs. And stamp duties and registration charges are 8 lakhs. And loan eligibility as per equated monthly installment divided by net monthly income norm is 95 lakhs. Insurance premium is 2 lakhs. That means in case the borrower dies during the period of loan, entire loan will be paid by the insurance company. Now let us see the solution. The total project cost is 80 lakhs as per the agreement, and 8 lakhs, that is stamp duty etc. So total 88 lakhs. Then the margin we have fixed is 20% of 88 lakhs. So that is 17.6 lakhs. So eligible loan amount as per the project cost is 70 lakhs 40,000. Okay. And eligibility as per loan to value ratio, that is 80% of the value as per the valuation report. So that is coming to 72 lakhs. The valuer has given valuation report 90 lakhs, on which 80% is 72 lakhs. Then eligibility as per equated monthly installment by net monthly ratio is 95 lakhs. Loan applied is 75 lakhs, and permissible housing loan limit is 70 lakhs, and life insurance premium 2 lakhs, then housing loan sanction will be 72 lakhs inclusive of life insurance. As you are aware, this EMI-NMI ratio is calculated on the basis of income what the customer is receiving per month. Okay, if a customer is getting more income per month, then his equated monthly installment can be fixed more. Suppose if a customer is getting less net monthly income, we have to fix equated monthly installment also very less. Why? Because we have to leave some cushion for his consumption purpose. On that basis, we have to calculate EMI-NMI ratio. See how EMI-NMI ratio is calculated. It depends on the income what the customer is receiving. Suppose his net annual income is 60 lakh, that is 0.6 lakh. That is, here what happens? 60,000, let us say. Net annual income is 60,000 is very less amount he is getting. So we have to fix less equated monthly installment. Amount should be less. And one more thing, on that basis his eligibility also will be less. But if a person is getting 10 lakhs, let us say per annum, so up to 65% of his income, we can fix the equated monthly installment. You have to please see once again and see and you arrive the limit as per the requirement of the bank. Some banks are extending this protected housing loan. It is nothing but an insurance cover will be there to the borrower, and in case of any unforeseen thing, the insurance company will pay entire amount of housing loan to the bank. The insurance premium is sanctioned as a part of the housing loan and it is repayable with the housing loan installments. Some banks developed schemes for rural women, that is for construction of houses for rural folk who fall below poverty line. And one more thing, here margin is nil and interest as per the circular guidelines and bank guidelines, and here bank loan also as per the circular and bank guidelines, and security is mortgage of the house property, type of loan is term loan and repayable in installments. In the same way, in urban slums, that is in city urban slums, poor people, that is below poverty line people, are sanctioned housing loans, and eligibility, he should have a permanent resident of that slum area and his income is below the prescribed limit, and as per the bank guidelines and as per the government guidelines, the loan will be sanctioned and it is a term loan and repayable in installments. See the car loan scheme. Here, what is the purpose? Purchase of new car or used vehicles also you can finance. And here you can give facility as a term loan and also sometimes even as a overdraft also you can give the car loans. Please note it, the used cars not more than 5 years old we have to finance, you can finance. But more than 5 years old, it is better not to finance because there will be lot of repairs and all these things. And one more thing, financing old vehicles on the basis of duplicate RC book will not be entertained. That is most important. Financing pre-owned cars, that means already used by the some other person he is selling. So in that case it is better to finance approved by dealers. The dealers also will deal like that and they will value the car and also they will certify that the engine is okay and car is okay. All these things they will certify. On that basis you can finance. Car loan, who are eligible? Regular employees of state and central government and public sector undertakings and other private reputed private companies, establishments, and one more thing, the corporations also they are eligible. And all it is better to have a regular employees of these institutions. Temporary employees should not be financed. And one more thing, professionals and self-employed businessmen also can be financed if they are proprietorship forms, and they should be income tax assessees. Third one is, even for agriculture people also we can finance. Here, please note it, sufficient collateral security we have to take if we finance any agricultural customers, agricultural borrowers who are doing agriculture. Okay. The field officer should assess properly his net annual income as well as, in case of employees, net monthly income, so that they can repay the loan very comfortably. And age criteria 21 to 65 years, and they should have a valid driving license. Otherwise, they should engage a valid driver who is having license. Here we will get a doubt, how much loan amount we can give as per the quotation. Further, for salaried persons, up to 48 times of their net monthly income. For others, 4 times of the gross taxable income. Gross taxable income margin is around 15% of the total cost of the vehicle, that is on road price. But please note it, he may require some accessories, that is air conditioner or etc. There should not be more than around 20 to 25,000, because we should not give more on accessories. Repayment period is maximum 7 years, and the repayment to be fixed on the basis of their equated monthly installments. In respect of the car loans, the security is nothing but hypothecation of vehicle and noting of hypothecation charge in the books of RTO, that is Road Transport Authority, and it should be noted properly. A Xerox copy may be obtained and kept with the documents. Insurance is one of the important area in respect of the car loans. Here, the vehicle should be comprehensively insured at market value or 10% more than the market value, and here the insurance policy should be taken on the borrower's name only. Repeat, on the borrower's name only. And here bank's interest as a hypothecary should be noted in the certificate of insurance and insurance policy. A copy of this is to be retained with the loan documents. This is most important. Purpose is general purpose loan, and loan limit should be fixed as per the property value, and also eligibility and repayment capacity. All these things we have to verify before giving the mortgage loan. And individuals above 21 years and who are employees and business and self-employed persons, they are eligible for mortgage loan. Here they should repay the loan from their salary or income. So banker, while financing the mortgage loan, you should see the proper security as well as the repayment capacity of the customer. The repayment capacity is judged on their salary income or annual income as per the income tax returns. Maximum repayment should be not more than 7 years. And security as usual, mortgage of unencumbered residential house, flat, non-agriculture, urban landed property, commercial or industrial property, self-occupied, vacant or rented or leased. This should be taken into consideration while accepting the security of the property. Here we have to take certain precautions also. Whenever the banker is financing mortgage loan big amount, it is better to obtain certified copies of the title deeds from the concerned sub-registrar, and they also should be created equitable mortgage. Why? Because suppose if the original documents are fake or xeroxed, at least the banker can go ahead on the property with the certified copies of the title deeds. Mortgage scheme. This is a beautiful scheme for the senior citizens. Here, the senior citizens will secure their property to the bank, and banker will release the amount in installments to the senior citizens for their livelihood. And at the end, here the senior citizen can repay the loan, or their nominee or their legal heirs can repay the loan and take the security, take the property. Now we will see the educational loan. The educational loan is to extend financial assistance to all eligible, deserving, meritorious students for pursuing higher studies in India and abroad. And who are eligible? Students should be Indian nationals, secured admission in professional, technical courses through entrance selection process, and secured admission to foreign university institution. All these things to be verified before accepting the educational loan. Here, the loan amount to be fixed. A maximum limit should be fixed. It depends upon the bank to bank, and it is better 10 to 20 lakhs like that. A maximum limit can be fixed, but it may also vary as per their study requirement. And the finance should be always a need-based finance here. Here, in addition to their tuition fees, we can consider their books, cost towards books, equipments, instruments, computer, uniforms, travel expenses, study tours, project work, thesis, and insurance premium, and hostel fees, library fees, exam fees, and other fees also we can put into these expenses. We can calculate while fixing the limit. Margin to be fixed year on year basis depending upon their eligibility. Then interest as per the bank norms. Repayment is the most important. 5 to 7 years installments they can fix. Here, when the repayment to be fixed, one is after 6 months after getting a job, or 1 year after completion of their study. And the extension of time for completion of course may be permitted for a maximum period of another 2 years. Here, security as usual, if it is more than 4 lakhs or 10 lakhs, let us see, it differs from bank to bank. Better to take co-obligation of parent and guardian, and their immovable properties also can be taken as a security if the loan amount is more. Against rent also the banker can finance. Here mainly the repayment will be 7 years or residual period of lease. This lease deed to be obtained, lease deed. And on the lease deed, what is the rent payable, we have to verify. And then afterwards, on that basis, you can fix the repayment. Here security is primary assignment of the receivables. So rent receivable should be credited to the bank account. Then first charge on the rent. Collateral, as per the norms, we have to take the security of the property, and type of loan will be term loan. Gold loan. The banker can extend loan against gold ornaments also. Please note it, India is the largest consumer of the gold for making ornaments and all these things. Here the purpose is for personal and contingencies, that is immediate needs, and eligibility minimum age is 21 years. Here the loan should be given as per the appraiser certificate. That means gold valuer will appraise the gold value. On that basis, we should fix the limit by taking necessary precautions on margin. And please note it, always the valuation should be 22 carats gold. The repayment will be 12 months to 18 months, not more than 18 months. Security pledge of the gold ornaments. Suppose if the gold loan is not paid, then immediately we have to call the valuer and see that appraiser and see that valuation of the gold. And other things, whatever the appraiser charges and all these things should be borne by the customer. First, any loan against National Savings Certificate or Kisan Vikas Patra or some government security bonds, etc. All these things we can eligible. Ceiling, there is no ceiling. The margin should be 25%. Security is the pledge of these certificates and the transfer of the certificate to be completed in favor of bank. That is most important. A repayment on demand or a liquidating in nature. That is, on demand it has to be paid. And the loan should be adjusted on the date of the maturity of the certificate. Considering loans to pensioners also. This is most important. They are the senior citizens. We have to give due respect to the pensioners. Here, the purpose is to meet domestic expenses. Domestic expenses, sometimes health problems, all these things we can finance to the pensioners. Then eligibility. Here, all state, central government pensioners who are maintains pension accounts with the bank and their age is not more than 70 years are eligible for taking pension loan. And loan amount, it will be need based, but it should not be more than 12 months of their pension. Okay, and a maximum limit should be fixed. Suppose if a person is getting 1 lakh, we cannot give 12 lakhs. We can give 1 lakh or 2 lakhs because what is their need also we have to see. Margin we should not take because these people are senior citizens. Okay. Interest as per the bank norms. Security, third party guarantee of spouse, family member who is eligible for family pension or third party guarantee equal to 100% of the loan also can be taken. And the loan will be demand loan. And otherwise, sometimes you can fix yearly also, that is monthly installments of 5 years you can fix, monthly installment from their pension you can recover. This is the banker may consider even loans to family pensioners, but see that the loan amount should not be more than 3 times of their family pension, because in family pension there will not be any nominee or anybody. So here we have to take, the banker has to take third party guarantee, preferably from a family member, that is son, daughter, who are having regular source of income. Type of loan is nothing but demand loan. Can extend personal loan to the unsecured personal loans to their customers. Here the purpose is general purpose, whatever their needs, all these things, and these are unsecured loans. Who are eligible? Particularly employees of state, central government, semi-government and profit-making public sector undertakings with a minimum of 3 years service in the present organization. Then category 2, employees of private sector companies with a good rating also can be considered, who are working on the private company for a minimum of 3 years. The minimum income criteria we have to take. There should be minimum income of 10,000 per month or 15,000 per month. It depends upon the bank to bank. Age is minimum 21 years and the age should not exceed 55 years or 36 months prior to their superannuation. And quantum of loan, how much we can fix? 12 times of their net monthly income, subject to a minimum limit we have to fix here. Please note it. However, persons availing the loan for the first time, amount can be capped to maximum of certain limit. Because these are first time now we have to see. First time borrowers, we should take more care while giving unsecured personal loans. Judged on the basis of their EMI-NMI ratio. Okay, equated monthly installment divided by net and monthly income. So we have to leave some cushion for their consumption purpose. Nature of advance is demand loan. Repayment is 36 equated monthly installment. All these things we have to take into consideration while giving personal loans unsecured. This is a social welfare loan the banks are giving. If grown-up daughters are there, for their marriage also, the bankers are giving loan to the parents who are having sufficient income for repayment, and it is repayable in 72 months as equated monthly installments, and the interest will be as per the bank guidelines. Margin is also margin, and loan amount, everything will be as per the bank guidelines. Security is 100% of the loan amount. This is against National Savings Certificates, Kisan Vikas Patras and TDRs, and sometimes the collateral security of housing property also can be taken for giving this marriages of their daughters. Specific schemes for particularly various employees, that is for police department, then for telephone department, then railways, and some journalists and software employees, and sometimes the Paryatan scheme also, that is for tourism finance also they will give to the employees particularly, and it is repayable in installments. A personal segment loan proposals, please do not entertain any middleman to bring all the people. That is most important. And do not sanction any loan unless the borrower has an account with us and is doing good operation. And do not hand over the title deeds to the borrower for being taken to the advocate for verification of the legal opinion and legal scrutiny. And do not hand over this banker check or DD representing the loan amount to the borrower, but send directly to the seller. And do not allow borrower to collect the registered document from the office of the sub-registrar. Please note it. Do not allow the borrower to collect the registered document from the office of the sub-registrar, but send an official of the bank to collect the documents once loan is already sanctioned and released. And do not accept introduction of any other persons other than the reliable persons of employees of government reputed organizations or some reputed institutions. Let us have a small discussion why there is non-performing assets are growing in personal segment. One is improper identification of the borrower. This is most important. Then income of borrower is not stable. Then failures in assessment of the loan requirement of the customer, and lack of supervision and follow-up. Once loan is sanctioned, the pre-sanction, post-sanction inspections should be conducted regularly, and borrowers are not made aware of the consequence of default, and delay in implementation of recovery action has led to loss of assets in retail segment, and opinion reports are not containing the details of the assets and borrower holding, and it also should contain a route map for the subsequent field officer who visit that place, and legal heirs to be contacted within 45 days of the notice of the death of the customer, which is not being done. And valuation of the securities was on high side, and realization under distress was not enough, and personal touch and personal advances is lacking. Personal touch in personal advances is lacking. These are the some of the reasons for growing non-performing assets in personal segment advances. This is in brief about the personal segment advances, and these are some of the important products in respect of the personal segment advances. Thank you.